Hey, Robert, how you doing? How you making out with the table of time in some of the Morello books? I'll tell you, man, this computer stuff is driving me crazy. I opened up my computer this morning, my main computer that I do all my writing on and, do Facebook and my email. They had it all screwed up again. Okay, good. And you have any questions on it, Robert? Any questions on it? And I have my metronome set up. All right, good. With a metronome, correct? What tempo? Up to what grouping? All right, what tempo did you do and up to what grouping? You practice with a metronome? I know, you just said that. You just got done practice. You just got to practice it. All right, of course we do. What I do, and I suggest this, is you turn the metronome on, for example, and let's hit 60. Now I'll do line 1 for a period of time. When I feel good with that, I'll go to line 2. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then I go to line 2. Next line. Next line. Next line. Next line. So on and so forth. Now I'm not going to sit here and play the whole thing, but this is how I recommend you do it. How you doing, Paul? Up to 6s. Good for you, Robert. All right, you have all the levels in place, the sound, the sticking heights and all that stuff. What I would do if I were you, if you could do up to 6s, that's great. Okay? With the metronome at 60. And if you're having difficulty with the 7s, I would turn the metronome off and just hang out with 7. When you feel good with that, because that's your stop sign right now. And what I mean by stop sign is, if you could get past the 7s, but with a metronome it's going to be a little difficult. So hang out with the 7s for a while. And then once you feel good with that, attempt it from line 1 to the 7s, up and down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do that over and over again. Do it for 10 minutes. Then if you can't do it at 60, it's actually harder. It's actually harder to do it at lower than 60, like 50 or 40. Man, that's tough. But there's the quality. I'm sorry. The objective is to really, get that timing thing going on when you're making the transition from 6s to 7s or 4s to 5s, and you're using a metronome. Man, you're on the money. When you're playing with a metronome through a sound system, or you're playing just regular without a sound system, just a tick on the metronome, okay, what you want to do, if the metronome disappears, then you're on the money. But there's a lot involved with this. Obviously, you don't play the table of time when you're playing with a band. But this gives you a strength of timing. And that's what it's about. How about you, Paul? Very good there, Robert. What have you been working on, Paul? I've been getting a lot of emails, which I really, really like. All right, because people are telling me they're watching this, they're interested in, and they ask me questions. Okay, now I'm going to change the. Remember, we did in the Morello book, number 27 as a warm up. I mean, it depends. I vary my warm ups every day. Usually, I'll do full strokes, half strokes, and quarter strokes just on page 5. Okay, and then, you know, to break up the monotony, I'll take something like a vamp at 150 for 3 minutes, 4 measures with the right, 4 measures with the left, over and over and over again. Or, you know, like we did the other day, we went to number 27. You were working on that also? Okay, good for you, Paul. That's a good exercise, no? It's a good approach, a good concept. You've been phrasing it in 4 measures or 8 measures, Paul? Man, this coffee tastes delicious. I drink too much coffee, though. That's my problem. You were working on, you're up to 143, Stacy. How are you? What, 143 where? On the table of time? Up to what grouping? That's fast. You're at 143, the table of time. Okay. Let me see. I mean, that's moving. Good, that's what you should be working on, Paul. Now, Stacy, you said 143. What are you up? The left-hand vamping, you mean? All right, let's go to one. I'm going to go to 150, or 160 rather. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just for maybe a minute, I'm going to vamp 4 measures with the right, 4 measures with the left. Okay, so here we go. That's enough of that. But that's what I usually do. And that's at 160. You said camping, Stacy. And by the way, you really sound really nice with those bagpipes, Stacy. You really do. That's not an easy instrument to play. All right, now, if you could do the vamping patterns, let's turn to stick control book, okay? At a tempo like that, you should be able to do page 5, 6, and 7 at, say, 140. All right, let's go to page, we're going to go back to the Morello book in a little bit. Let's go to page 14. Now, remember I said something's wrong with this stick. Oh. Remember I said that it's half. Who do we have here? Okay, Charlie, how you doing? Okay, so now, if you could vamp at that tempo, and you should be able to do page 5, 6, and 7. 2, 3, 4, vamp. Now, if you could do the vamping there, you should be able to play 16s here. See the vamp? The vamp is half the single stroke roll. So if you hang out at page 14, and let me slow it down a little bit. Put it on 142. That's my quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do the first line. You got that, guys? Charles, we're on the stick control book, page 14. Actually, we should go to, no, I'm sorry. Let's go to page 13. I showed you this one with the vamp a couple weeks back, and this is a good exercise. First off, if you look at it, it's a 4-measure increment. All right, then it has a repeat. So I'm going to play it over and over again with the repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Last measure. Simple exercise. However, what I do, after I do that for a period of time, I'm going to tag a vamp on it. Now, a vamp changes. It's not just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In this case, we're going to use 16th notes as a vamp, alternating strokes. So if I did if I do it again, I'll do it real slow. 1 and 2 and 3 E and the 4 E and the 1, 2, 3 E and the 4 E again. 1, 2. Let's measure. Now let's measure. 1 E and the 2 E and the vamp. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, back. 1. Now you see what I did? I tagged the vamp on it. So, it's like anything else. You know, you do it, you feel, you try it without the metronome, and you say, okay, it feels good. Then you attempt, okay, to find yourself a tempo. Now, you're not just going to start it at 142 or 160. You might go down to 120. All right, I'll go to 126. All right, I'm going to do the line with the vamp over and over again for a little bit, okay? Line 1, 1, 2, I got to sit up. Here you go. Vamp. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. dynamics in there. What I'm saying, okay, feel good about it. 4 measures. You do the line. It's a 4-measure increment, Bob. How you doing, Jim? It's a 4-measure increment. So after you finish the 4th measure, you tag a vamp on it, and you do the 16th note. You do this: 1 E and 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. Then you vamp for 4 measures. Got it, Robert? Now, what I'm doing there is just the right-hand lead. Now, we're not going to tag a turnaround on this. You know, after you do that for 3 or 4 minutes, you're a little bit tired, okay? So then you want to do the left-hand side. That's going to strengthen the left-hand attack. As you did with the right, you do line 2. Now, what I've taken from this is an endurance exercise. By endurance, I mean to play, say, 16th notes for 3 or 4 minutes at whatever tempo you select. You know, if you select 142 for 3 minutes, that's moving. 150, 160, 180, that's moving for 3 minutes or maybe 4 minutes, whatever you feel like doing. The more you do, the better you are. Any sign of being stiff or any discomfort with your muscles, stop. Do you understand what I'm doing there, Paul, Charles, Stacy, Robert, Jimmy? Charles, did you email me? Charles? Now, if I dynamics, what I'm doing, did you email me, Charlie? Now, I use some dynamics when I'm doing a vamp or when I'm playing that for 3 or 4 minutes. I start with a very soft tempo, sound rather, and then build it up. For 3 or 4 minutes. Okay? Did you understand that, guys? Now you do the same thing with line number 1, number 2. The one you want to hang out with a whole lot, they don't even have it here. Huh. All right, well, that's okay. Now we're not going to go to the short roll combinations with the triplets. However, it's a good exercise. Just hang out with all that stuff. Like I just showed you with the endurance. You know, doing this for 3 or 4 minutes, man, it's not a piece of cake. Maintaining that tempo, maintaining the sound, you're working the hell out of your wrist, which is a good thing. Okay? Now let's go back to the Joe Morello book. We're going to be on number 27. Remember that one, Robert? Not page 27. Remember, it goes exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You turn the page, 6, 7. We're going on number 27. And we used that the other day as a warm-up. And this is really a good one for your hands. Well, they're all good for your hands. Some I feel better than others. Now, number 27, you have 1, E, and the. Then you have 2, E, and. You guys remember that one from the other day? Yesterday we had the Stone Killer. We're going to go back to that in a second. Do you remember doing number 27? Oh, boy, there is a lag in this thing. All right, there's like 11 people watching this, and only 4 or 5 people are in the chat. The remainder of you guys, man, get in the chat, ask some questions. We're working at a Joe Morello's Master Studies right at the moment, and in front of the book, how'd you make out with that, Paul? We're on number 27. Now, this is not odd or anything. It's a good exercise to incorporate the levels and the movement, okay? Now, if you turn to that line 27, I'll break it down for you. You remember, did you guys work on it? It's not an easy guy here, man. It's not easy. Actually, as you get past into the Morello book, it's not easy at all. No. Hey, Joe, how are you? Can I speak louder? Testing, 1, 2. You want me to speak louder? Hold on. Let me know if the volume goes up. Closer to my mouth. Has the volume gone up? Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Testing, 1, 2. That's it, Stacy, with the accent on the downbeat. Hey, Joe, is that loud enough for you? Or turn up your speaker then? Because I have it on full volume. The audio's good. Volume okay? Joe, is that louder? Need your help, Joe. Okay, that's the one. Okay, we're on number 27. Let me break it down. Stacy wrote in there, right, left, 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 right, right, right. But there's an accent, okay, on the first stroke of, there's an accent on the first stroke of the grouping of 4. So I have, and I'm going to be mechanical. I'm going to break it down. I'm starting in this position, okay, again, why? Well, the first right is an accent. Now, you have E and the are taps. E, and then the da is an upstroke. 3, E, and the 4, E, and. Where's Old Dog been? Do we understand that movement, Paul? Stacy? No, it's not the same as 1. I never really looked at it that way, Paul. But everything that you play somewhere is predicated upon that page. Everything comes from that book. I don't know directly what, where it's coming from until I work with it on with you guys. But yeah, you're starting to see how everything starts to come from the stick control book, especially with Morello. That's number 27, Robert. Can you hear me? All right. Joe, you there? Of course it is. That's the objective. It's not that it's harder. You have to go with the flow. Remember we talked about what they call the whip? Well, that don't exist, man. That's bullshit. When I play this, 1, E, and duh. Now watch when I come in. You see the elbow come out? Dude, that's where I get my power. That's where I get my power. It's a pump. It's not a whip. You understand that? Line 27. Robert. Inga da bunga da boonga. Remember we went over this the other day. In addition, like we talked about warming up when it was just you and I. We went on to the Joe Morello book, line 27. Now, I don't hear anything from Joe. But I guess the volume is okay. There's 12 people watching. There's only 4 in there. Where's about the other 8 people? Can you hear me? Bam, ba-doom, boom. Do we understand that line, line 27? And it's in the stick control formulas. Page 10, line 27. All right? That's in this, that's just the exercise by itself. All right, from the line. But I took it further, I expanded on it, and I implemented the stick control book. That's the formulas, it's in there. That R is equal to 1. L is equal to. So if I have the right-left sequence, it is line 27. But now you want to move it around somewhat. First get it going on like that and say, make the R, that we made the R right, left, left, left. So we do line 3, which is right, 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 left, left. Maybe you got to hear Morello play that. He picks up the sticks and plays it like it were nothing. You got it, Paul? Robert? Yeah, it's in the stick control book form. We're not in the book yet. We're just taking number 27. All right? And we're expanding upon it. We have R becomes right, left, left, left with the accent on the downbeat. L equals left, right, right, right with the accent on the downbeat, left, okay? So if I have 2 rights and 2 lefts, it's right, right, left, left. Now you see how the levels changed? Because I'm putting myself in position to nail the accent. Okay, we understand that. It was just something else. That was very nice of you, Paul. Robert's a good guy, man. I like Robert a lot. Well, I like everybody a lot, so I'm not going to be prejudiced. But anyway, do you understand the flow of that? I would just stay with line 27. That's not an easy line. And today we did the first 5 lines of Joe Morello's book. Is there any questions on that? Well, they're really, you know what, Charles? Anything that Morello wrote and played is a challenge if you do it correctly. See, a lot of guys will look at that and just play an accent. They won't care about the level. And they say, oh, I can't play this fast. Well, if you reinforce what's natural, you most definitely can move it. If you're preventing it, that's the laws of physics. If you prevent you fight with the laws of physics, you're not going nowhere. It's very simple. Yeah, they are challenging. But what you need to do, if you want them to move, and blood, trust me, they will move faster when I say move. First, you got to pay your dues to what's going on. Do line 27 every day, 2 or 3, 4 minutes. Go to the beginning of the book, line 1, line 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is there any line on the beginning of the book you'd like me to work or go over? You like the group we have here? Okay. That's everybody here, correct? There's a lot of people watching, but nobody's in the chat. I don't understand that. They can get in the chat with their phone, they get in the chat with the computer, or whatever other nonsense they have out there, the iPhone, I don't know, the tablets and all that good stuff. Any questions on 1 through 5? How about you, Charles? See, you can work these, and if you don't work them correctly, they're not going to move. You're going to come to a stop sign, and it's not going to go anymore. That's what, when I do a lesson, I break it down. They're all challenging, Stacy. All right, but how about the first 5? Any questions on the first 5? I don't want to get into line 23. Let me see what that looks like. Oh, I get so confused sometimes with line 23. What page? Boom. All that is, okay, line 23 you're talking about? All right, what you have here, a left-hand lead, accent on the and the and of 3, and then all right-hand sticking. You're actually playing, let me see if I can get this going on for you. I'll do it slow. Oh, it's been ages. Number 23, I'm starting here, okay? Why am I starting here? Well, the first left is an upstroke. Why? Because my next left is an accent. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. You see how that moves? That's what you got to do. Now, I could send you... Okay, all right. That's a good question. It's not a problem. I'm going to explain that to you in a second. See, you're brand new. This is what, your second, third time here, Charles? Now, the stick control book formulas, this exercise is in there. Okay, but or you could buy the book or you could buy the PDFs. Okay, however, how do you get 3 accents in a row? All right, let's do a formula. These great questions, man. You guys are really making me work for whatever money I get. All right, let's do. I'm going to give you the concept. And where is that I want? All right, number 9 in stick control book. With the next concept. Let me explain the concept. I'm referencing off of, all right, well, whatever, Jim. I'm referencing off the stick control book. For example, underneath, I'm going to play just 8th notes. 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and simple pattern. So I say, all right, let me go to the stick control book and make a mountain out of this. So the stick control sticking is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. What I'm going to do is eliminate the lefts. So I'm going to have 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to reference off that line as just the rights, but this is underneath. 1 and 2 and and 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to play now an accent on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get this. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Got it? Now you do it as many times as you like with the right, and you do the same thing with the left, the same concept, the same referencing. It's 1 and 2. Now that's just one accent. Okay? Now, what that concept, we go to line 3, you have right on 1 and you have right on 3 and. So I'm playing this underneath. Now watch this, Charles. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You see that? So if I break that down slow, because I have two accents in a row, the first right has to be a free stroke. I'm in position to nail the next accent. And. Then 2 is a tap, and is the end of 2 is an upstroke, so now I'm back in position to attack it. You get that, Charles? Now, you said 3 accents in a row. So with that reference, if we go to line 9, you see it's written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We eliminate the left, and we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to accent 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and this is the bottom. Now I'm going to break it down. Let me play it first. So I have right, left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep myself with the levels in position. 1 is a free stroke. And is another free stroke because I'm in position. 2 is going to have to be a downstroke because my next right is an upstroke to get in position for 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. It's the natural way to play. That is what's occurring if you do it right. If you do it with the levels, if you implement the levels, okay, you're gonna move this. It's gonna be relaxed, and you're not fighting the laws of physics. We all understand the laws of physics. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. If I throw the stick down, that was the action. Look at the opposite reaction. It came back. Full stroke. Now we get into the control strokes, the full stroke, the downstroke. The only reason why that's down, because I stopped it from coming back up. Then my tap and my up. That's what you need to know. You need to know the free stroke or full stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. That'll put you right on the money. But you need to pay your dues. Now, when I sit and play with a band, I don't think of that. Downstroke, tap, up, and then get a bong. It's through practicing I developed a natural flow. I understand. If I have 2 accents in a row, what I have to do. You know, I sit there and go, you know, zub, 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 zub. I'm not thinking of full stroke, downstroke, tap. It's there. It's a natural way to play. I've trained myself to play that. I'm not playing with any feeling. I'm not playing any melodic structure. I'm exercising my technique. I can play melodically. It's no problem using that. Everybody, like I keep emphasizing it, nobody wants to listen. You know, too bad Joe wasn't alive, man. I mean, I wish he was alive. I just missed the guy. He was very dear to me. We became, you know, after 30 years, somewhat years, we became, what's high definition, Joe? Are you getting the sound okay now? Like I said, Joe is very dear to me. And he kept saying, and if you have that video, they took it off of YouTube for copyright infringement laws. I have the cassette, not the cassette, the what was it, the 8-track or whatever you call those things, when they first came out, and it was the approach, the modern the natural approach by Joe Morello, and he demonstrates all of this. He demonstrates the full stroke, the downstroke, the quarter stroke, so on and so forth, and he don't outright say Moeller is bullshit. Okay, the VHS, that's right, Stacy. And you know, and it's like he was very diplomatic, and he demonstrated, you know, like I just did, the full strokes, the downstrokes, but because you can't play like this, and he's correct, you can't. If you play like that, eventually, if you play up tempos like that, like he said, and I thought it was funny, you're going to levitate. All right? That's okay, Joe. As long as you could hear, that's what's important. Okay, now, would anybody like me to go over that exercise of 1 through 5? What I'm going to do, Stacy, I'm going to teach Seth a couple of those lines, and especially the one that you said was a little challenging, number 23. I'm going to make a video of me giving him the lesson and him and I playing that line. So everybody will benefit by it. So I'm going to break it down and I'm going to develop him to play it a little bit up-tempo. How's that sound for you, Stacy? Okay? Now, the one exercise I did not forget about, I'm sure that you guys forgot about it. When we used the stick control book, we referenced off, again, everything comes from that stick control book. That thing haunts me. Well, it doesn't haunt me, in a nice way it does. Everybody probably forgot about this formula. When I make R become 1-ienda, or 4/16 single strokes, and I make L become doubles. So if I reference off of that, 1-ienda, 2-ienda, 3-ienda, 4-ienda, and I use the first line of stick control book, I have 1-ienda, 2-ienda. Old dog like that, he sent me a video one, and he did a real good job. He really did. Do you remember that one, Paul? Stacy, Jim, Joe, Charles? Where's everybody? Wow, all these people here, nobody's in the chat. Robert, do you remember that one? You guys remember that? R equals single strokes, L equals double strokes, and the you guys are working on the table of time. I sent you that sheet that R equals a grouping of 6, L equals a grouping of 5. Okay, well maybe it was before you, Stacy. See, this is, all right, I'm going to explain it in a second. All right, so if Stacy and Joe, here's what we do. We take R and we make it 4/16. Single strokes. 1, E, and the. Now I come to a left. Left becomes doubles. 2, E, and the. So if I played the right, left sequence, I would have this. E and the. Do we understand that? Did I break it down okay? Or any questions on that? You could do the whole page. You got it, right, Robert? What you should do, and it's worth an investment, okay? I don't know what printers you guys have, but you should get a high-speed printer and double-side all these lessons get an accumulation of 200 pages, go to a Staples or an Office Mac or I guess a stationery store, have them bind it for you. You understand that, Stacy? All right. All right, well, it's quite expensive there, Charles. I have the stick control book formula and the syncopation formulas. They come in two formats. Both come in the hardcover and both come in PDF formation. What you want to do, you got it, Joe? Okay. Stacy's got it. What you want to do, Charles, email me and we'll talk about the pricing on that. Okay? All right. Now, anybody remember the turnarounds? The reason why I'm throwing all this out at you is because our next broadcast is Wednesday, 1 p.m. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do with 5 days off next week. This week I have Seth on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be off Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday I'm here. All right, just, keep it all together. You have the turnarounds. You have this formula here with the singles. Thank you, Stacy. What did you do? I did that Charlie Wilcoxon in double bass drum. On a double bass drum? That's really nice. Which one did you do, Robert? Let me try it. Double bass drums. What solo was that? Let me try that. That's not easy. I guess you're trying to just give me the number. You got it, Paul? Number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, or the 6/8. What did you do? I gotta loosen up, man. You took it to Staples. Well, what you want to do, if you're going to get a lot of PDFs, Robert, and what I'm saying to you, for like $150, $200, get a Brothers high-speed printer, all right, and do double side. You get an accumulation of, say, 200-300 pages, bind them, and you have another workbook. Now, what solo did you take with the double bass drums? That's hard to do. Like I said, I'm not a double bass drum player, but I do have a little bit of fun. Ay, I got a boonga. I got to sit up higher. I'm not sitting correctly. I'll wait on you, Robert. Tell me which one. I'm going to try it. Yeah, they're still doing that, Joe. Where do you live, Joe? What state? I mean, the Staples is all over the United States. You go to the printing and you tell them to bind it. And I took 180 sheets over there. I told them to print them all out and bind them. They did it, no problem. It cost me a fortune. But that's okay. That's why the price is up there. I don't have time to double print 10 copies out. That's like 1,800 and 1,800 pages. Then I got to take them over there, get them binded. That's a lot of money. All right, well, go to UPS. Do they do the binding there, Stacy? All right, lesson's almost over. Yeah, well, if you get one of those copy machines, the high-tech copy machines, You could blow out 1,000 copies in less than a minute. All right, any questions? Everybody, please be safe. Uncle Matt is going to take off until Wednesday. I have Seth. All right, that's what you want to do. You want to bind them. Get the spiral, the wire. Okay? That lasts longer than the plastic. All right, I have Seth tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Stacy is rescheduling. That's okay, Stacy, not a problem. The next 3-day camp that I'm going to have, see, July, August, sometime in September. Jimmy, email me there, Charles, and we'll talk about the book, all right? I'll mail it to you, or you want the PDFs, I'll email them to you. 180 pages and 160 pages. It's a lot of pages, man. All right? Also, if you want to become a member, a paid-for member of this site, all you need to do is go to mattpatellalivelessons.com and sign up. Okay? On Wednesday, 1 p.m. I'll try to make it earlier. It's not a lion's den. Mercy. It's all going to come together for these guys. You watch when they come back and come online here, and they tell you how they feel about it. I'm not even going to tell them what to say. They're going to say what they want to say, all right? All right, are there any questions? I will, without a doubt. Thank you very much, Stacy. Like I said, I'm going to do that line. I'm going to see if he's all right with that. It's up to him. You know, I don't want to put the guy on the spot. You know, if he wants me to give him a lesson, film it, I will, and I will send it to everybody. Yeah, well, it's absolutely fun. Seth's a nice guy. He could play really good. He really can. All right, like I said, the next camp that I do have is going to be sometime in September, maybe the 3rd weekend or the 4th weekend. I have 2 more to do before 2021. So if anybody is interested, now's the time to talk to me through email. Or you want my phone number, I'll give you my phone number. It's not a problem. Sorry, Stacy. Okay, guys. Any questions? Damn, it's an hour already. 53 minutes. Wow. All right. No questions? Joe's a nice guy. We're all nice guys here. Very mellow kind of place to be, and a good place to learn and share ideas. Anything you want to work on, Jimmy? All right, when you come to a stop sign, that's where the questions come from. You work on, when I sit and practice, I sort of like put myself on an agenda for that particular day. And if I'm working on something and I keep coming to a stop sign where I'm having some difficulty, that's what I'm working on. Nobody tells me what to work on. I work on my weaknesses. Everybody here knows their weaknesses. Okay, guys, see you Wednesday. Have a nice weekend, and we'll see everybody Wednesday. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Be safe.